Questions?
Coach, LT was TV Sports. Now that you had a taste of your first game from the All Star break, what did you like about tonight's performance from your team as a whole?
Um, yeah, I feel like it was just a kind of a one of those gritty wins that you need a handful of times throughout a season. Um, Coming back off of the break is tough. You get used to practicing and playing every couple of days, and there's a routine to it. And then all of a sudden, there's a week with no game. People have traveled home, and they're not training the same, etc. Taking a few days off. So typically, there's a good degree of rust that you have to try and find a way to play through and shake off. And then when you combine that, at least specifically for us, with 3 or 4 players that have been injured and haven't played a game in several weeks, the combination of that, we anticipated it not being an overly efficient and well played game from our perspective, but I just thought the players just kind of figured some things out, played through some fatigue and lack of game timing and rhythm, and just found a way to win the game. And I think in order to be successful at this level, you need those kind of wins.
And what about Candace coming back tonight? It was big for you guys. How do you grade her performance tonight?
I thought it was A plus. I think that she's been through a lot this year, and it's been frustrating for her to go through this process and not be available for her and herself and for the team. And I think she learned some things that she could do better and differently after returning the first time, and how she can kind of start to build herself back into the team, the fabric of what we're doing and how we're trying to play when she's out. And I thought she blended in really well. She was aggressive at times when she needed to, but she also left room for other people to do their thing. And her stat line is that's the type of stat line that we've kind of become accustomed to, over the course of her career. And to have this type of game, her first game back after a while, is really good to see.
Coach, how did you feel about the way the team ended the third quarter, especially with Candace being on the bench?
Yeah, I thought the end to the third quarter, really swung the momentum back in our favor. To start the third quarter, I thought Las Vegas was more purposeful. They started the third quarter with the intent of, trying to impose their will on us, and for a few minutes they did. But after in the first half, Vegas was 16-4 in bench points, and I thought in the third quarter, the way we ended with a few of our bench players out there, the way that they competed. Alexis came in and really competed hard. Kalani came in and gave us good minutes. Maria, who's a little rusty but still did some good things out there for us. We need all of our players, and while we're still working our way into our full roster, health, etc. We need people to be able to come in and contribute, and I think the end to the third quarter is what got us enough momentum to then be able to protect home court tonight.
Rico?
Hi, Coach. Rico Cabrera, Philly Sports Team.
How you doing?
Coach, big props to you, big ups, because you must
Thank
have
you.
one of the toughest jobs in the WNBA right now, you and Coach Williams, in terms of looking at your day-to-day squad.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you and Coach Williams, meet up, get your heads together on how you will deal with the players that are there in front of you ready to play.
Well, honestly, Coach Latricia Trammell is who keeps us in line as the woman in the group. She she helps us understand some things and see some things that sometimes we don't see ourselves. Her energy and passion for the game is infectious, and Coach Fred's been doing this for a long time. Has been really successful. This is my first year in the W, and I think just as a staff, we collectively, try and put our minds together, and we've kind of gotten to a point now at this point in the season where we pretty much expect anything to happen on any given day, and whoever is available that day, We just are going to try to figure it out as a group. And, we laugh sometimes to the point of almost crying because of how many different versions of our team we've gone to work with on a daily basis. But, again, our players deserve the credit for being in position to still have a chance to, to be successful this year and reach some of our goals.
Megan.
Megan Highsmith Oliver. I just want to know, you talked about Alexis Jones and her contributions on the bench. Can you expand upon her role and how she's come along thus far?
Yeah, no, Alexis was outstanding tonight from in terms of competing hard, not being afraid of the moment, taking shots that were there, and that's not easy to do. When you've been out for a while. I think her success tonight, though, began with the choice that she made when she got injured, that she was going to commit herself in a very serious way to the rehab process, to the early workouts. She's been night and day with our strength and conditioning coach, Kelly Dormandi, our head athletic trainer, Courtney Watson, every second, every day, getting better, pushing herself. And I think as a young player that hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity prior to being here with us, there was things she didn't understand about how you need to train your body in order to really be a pro and play every night and be healthy. And I think she was able to learn some things about herself through that process. That she's a better player today than she was when she showed up in May. And that says a lot about her and her willingness to, continue to become a better pro.
Fabi.
Pavi HB Media. Coach, can you talk about the pace that you guys played with tonight? I felt like even though there were some lineups that hadn't played with each other before, you guys were pretty consistent all the way throughout. And how encouraging is that for the rest of the season when the team gets more familiar with each other?
Yeah, no, I think pace is important. It's hard to score points against teams at this level when their defense is back and set. And that's why everybody's trying to push it up as quickly as possible and score before the other team gets back. Because of our versatility, it definitely can be something that can work well for us when Candace can rebound and push, NECA can rebound and push, Chelsea, TRP, Sydney, Alexis comes off, she can push, Maria can, initiate the first three or four dribbles in transition. So our roster kind of allows us to be able to play with some pace. I thought tonight we didn't have the energy and the legs to not just play with pace, but convert and be efficient. We weren't able to attack as much because our game, just timing, rhythm, edge wasn't there as often. But pace is going to be important for us, and when you're playing against good teams like Las Vegas, number one defensive rating in the league, you can't walk it up and play against five set defenders. You're not going to be as successful. So getting it up before Cambage is back, before Hamby's back, before Jackie Young gets her hands on you, before Tamara Young, Plum's improved as a defender. So we really made a concerted effort tonight to try and keep the pace higher.
Brady.
Derek, piggybacking on that answer a little bit, it seemed like every time you got a defensive rebound or forced a turnover, Candace was coming to get the ball. Everyone was looking to get her the ball in transition and have her bring it up the court. What was the thinking behind that? Were you just trying to get the ball in the hands of one of your best playmakers, or were you trying to get her into favorable matchups?
Well, I think that they're comfortable doing that, like because it's been successful in the past. Our players enjoy, I think, her willingness to pass the basketball and her vision and her playmaking. Anytime we can get Chelsea some possessions without having to dominate the basketball, I think is good for us long term. But I think the more we get to practice with that happening, I think we'll hopefully be able to be better and not just maybe converting in transition at a higher clip, but even like kind of our secondary offense and what we do if there isn't something there initially. That's where we have to really improve when Candace is pushing the basketball. Okay, where's the second big going? guards, which sometimes struggle converting to wing runners when somebody else is pushing the basketball, right? So Candace gets it, she's pushing it, and the guards are kind of jogging next to her like they're confused that they don't have the ball. And so being able to quickly go from like Candace has the ball, I'm running the wing like it's track, like I'm out. That's something that we have to really improve at in order to flatten the defense more in transition in those situations.
Sorry, we have time for one more. John.
John W. Davis with W Insider. Coach, can you kind of summarize and talk about the takeaway from a fourth quarter where you can grind out a win, you get 13, and you hold the Aces to 8? What's the takeaway from grinding out a victory against one of the top tier teams?
Played in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals in this building in 2010. One of the ugliest, games I've ever played in terms of offense and field goal percentage and all of these different things. Kobe was 6 out of 24 from the field. We missed a ridiculous amount of shots. Found ourselves behind by 13 points, in the third quarter. To me, the only way you win is to be able to have the mental and physical discipline to win the game when it's 73-70, when it's 62-59. Very rarely, when everything is on the line, is it going to be an all-star 129-126. I haven't seen very many games where both teams are playing for their lives and the score has been that high. So I do think that even though it isn't pretty in the moment, it does require a deeper level of discipline and patience to not allow, maybe you feel like bad calls are happening, maybe shots aren't going in. It just isn't the type of game that you would write home about. But to stay in there and keep fighting and keep yourself engaged, it's not easy to do. But we do need the repetition, because if we're fortunate enough to get into September, late September, early October, there's going to be a game just like this one that we're going to have to hold the team to 10 points, 12 points in a quarter in order to win the championship, or at least to have a chance. So we need to be able to call on these moments when that comes down the line.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And here's our closing now here from the Staples Center, the home of the LA Sparks, as they come out with a huge victory over their competitors in the Western Conference, the Las Vegas Aces. They came in at 14-6 with the league-leading record, followed down in the pack, maybe in third or fourth place by the LA Sparks. They came in at 11-8, come out now with a victory, 12-8 as they move their marks up on the standing. So leading the pack tonight with another double-double, Nneka Ogwumike, number 30 on her jersey, 19 points. Coupled with 11 rebounds, and she's followed with Candace Parker, who put in 16. But listen to this on her other side of the coin stats. With assists, she came in with 3, steals with 3, and block shots with 4. So Candace Parker, huge game on her first time back after ankle injury, but now back on the court, feeling good, looking good, and doing her best to lead the team on to victory. And then followed by Chelsea Gray, who's doing an all-around job, a superb job here as a point guard. As you saw, Nneka and Chelsea appear in the All-Star game this past weekend, and they came out not on the same team, opposite teams, but the win goes to Chelsea Gray and, of course, Team Wilson in the NBA All-Star game. And then followed by Sydney Weiss with 9 points. And then Alexis Jones coming back into shape here after an injury. She puts in 7, followed by Maria Vadiva, also back for the first time, coming from overseas, 7 points. And let's see, Marina Mabry with 2. And let's see, that's it. Elena Beer is still out, but soon to be back on the court with an injury, but she'll be back. And that will do it for this edition of East LA Sports Scene. And again, we give credits, of course, to our director of photography and producing, Eric Sarney, yours truly, Rico Cabrera, doing the write-ups and, of course, handling all of the post-game interviews and the press conference as well. So we thank you for watching. Be careful, be safe, but more importantly, be back for our next edition. They come back here on Sunday against the Seattle Storm for another home game for the LA Sparks. So that will do it. Take care. Eric Sarney, Rico Cabrera, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.